Hey everyone, it's me, and today we're going to talk about the first song in our new album, Fading Footsteps, Lost Legacies. I wanted to start by saying that I'm so proud of this record. It was a really tough process for us, but the end result is exactly what we were looking for and then some. We pushed ourselves as writers and as musicians further than ever before. We also changed studios midway through recording and ended up finishing the record at a legendary studio in Los Angeles called Sound City, which is where bands like Soundgarden and Alice in Chains recorded their classic albums. So it was a really cool experience. This album is more conceptual than our previous releases, but there's still a lot of personal songs on here. Each song means something different to someone. But if you take a step back and look at the whole record as a whole, it's really about moving forward from your past and becoming who you want to be. Sometimes we hold on to things that have happened to us for too long, and we let them define us or hold us back. This record is about letting go of those things, even though they may feel like a part of you. The title track, Fading Footsteps, Lost Legacies, was actually the very last song we wrote for the record. The music had been written in one of our earlier writing sessions and sat on my hard drive for months until I finally started working on lyrics for it. I came into the studio with a notebook full of ideas and rhymes, and we started working on it together. That's actually kind of rare for us. Usually, one person will come in with a song completely finished, and then we work on it together as a band. But we felt like this record needed a different approach. We all contributed to every song in some way, and it made the record feel fresh and exciting again. I think this title track is special because it ties everything together. It has a lot of different meanings for all of us. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I think it's important to understand the message behind the song and how it relates to the rest of the album. The legacy that we leave behind isn't just our possessions or our accomplishments, it's the impact we have on other people and the world around us. It's not always easy to see the impact we have, but it's important to remember that everything we do matters. In the song, there's a line, "These fading footsteps echo in the halls of yesterday," and it made me think of old school movies when they would pan across a graveyard and you would see all of these old tombstones. Some of them are worn down and you can barely read the engravings. And that made me wonder what legacies are left behind after someone dies. Are they remembered for the good or the bad? Are they remembered at all? Or does their life just become some footnote in history? The legacy you leave behind could be the difference between leaving this earth and having lived in vain. It doesn't mean that you have to accomplish something monumental to make a difference. It just means that you have to strive to be the best version of yourself that you can be. A big theme on this record is change. Change can be scary, but it's necessary if you want to grow and evolve. As humans, we resist change because it takes us out of our comfort zones. It forces us to confront our fears and insecurities. But change is also the only way we can grow. We can't stay the same forever. We have to keep moving forward. Otherwise, we'll just end up repeating the same mistakes over and over again. And another theme is regret. We all have regrets, things we wish we could take back or do over. But regret is a waste of time. It doesn't change anything. All it does is make us feel bad about ourselves. The best thing we can do is learn from our mistakes and move on. There are a lot of different ways to interpret these songs, and that's what makes them so interesting to me. Everyone experiences life differently, and everyone brings their own baggage into the world. My hope is that these songs will help people cope with whatever they're going through. Even if you don't agree with everything I'm saying, I hope you can still find some value in my words. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the artwork for this album. Our last 3 albums all had a very similar aesthetic, and I wanted to shake things up a bit with this one. I wanted something more symbolic and less literal. So I reached out to a friend of mine, Sam, who is an incredible artist. I gave him a few ideas and he went to work. I think he did an amazing job capturing the feeling I was going for. If you look closely, there are a lot of little details in the artwork that relate to the songs on the album. I won't say what they are, but I encourage you to look for them. See if you can spot them all. So now I want to tell you about the making of this record. We spent a lot of time writing and rehearsing before we went into the studio. We wanted to make sure we had the best songs possible. We also wanted to make sure we had the best performances possible. So we did a lot of experimenting in the studio. We tried out different sounds and effects. We also did a lot of overdubs, which meant recording multiple guitar parts or vocal harmonies. One of the biggest challenges we faced while recording this album was finding the right producer. We worked with a few different people, but it just wasn't clicking. We were struggling to find our sound. Then we met with a producer named Chris. From the moment we met him, we knew he was the right guy for the job. He understood our vision and he helped us achieve it. He also pushed us to be better musicians and songwriters. Another challenge we faced was recording drums. Our drummer, Ben, had to have surgery on his hand, so he couldn't play on most of the record. We brought in a session drummer to fill in for him. It was tough to find someone who could match Ben's style, but we eventually found someone who could. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the artwork. Like I said earlier, I wanted something more symbolic and less literal. So I reached out to a friend of mine, Sam, who is an incredible artist. I gave him a few ideas and he went to work. I think he did an amazing job capturing the feeling I was going for. If you look closely, there are a lot of little details in the artwork that relate to the songs on the album. I won't say what they are, but I encourage you to look for them. See if you can spot them all. As a musician, it's always tough to promote your work. You're always afraid that people won't like what you've made. But I'm proud of this record. It's everything we set out to do and more. I hope you enjoy listening to it as much as we enjoyed making it. Thanks for listening. I'll see you on the road.